hot water heater is right here in the garage.
The garage. There's no basements in Florida, so the garage is storage and mechanical and water heater, and even the car.
Yes. I noticed a leak on the outside. I traced it back in, followed the pipes up, goes into 2 different outlets here on the hot water heater.
All right.
So I was doing that, I noticed this is about a 20-year-old tank.
They don't live forever.
No, and that's why I kind of emailed you about different options for tankless.
Okay. I've always used gas units. Do you have gas here?
We do not have gas.
Okay, so with electric, it's a little different story. For a house like this, you need a lot of power for that burner to come on, those elements to come on. So here's your panel. So that looks pretty full. Where's your main breaker?
Side of the house.
All right, good.
Right here.
All right. Oh, and I see your drain pipe there. It's been dripping for a while, hasn't it?
Quite a while.
So here's the main panel for the whole house, and here's the breaker. You can see right here. See 150. So that means you have 150 amps of power available for the whole house right now, and you've got air conditioning. So the smallest instantaneous electric water heater has 340 amp breakers. That means if all the elements were on, you could use as much as 120 amps of power. Okay, so if we did this and the AC came on, it could mean it could snap this breaker, turn off the power, and that's not good. I just don't think an electrical tankless is the right solution for you on this one, okay? But you still have a 20-year-old water heater we've got to get rid of. I think I've got a solution that'll work with your existing electrical setup and even save you energy.
Sounds good.
So inside the existing water heater, there's 2 of these. These are electrical elements. There's one here and one here. And they just immerse inside the tank filled with water, and they heat up the water like an old coffee maker, you know? The new tank is going to look very similar. The bottom 2/3 is going to have an element and an element, but on top of it is a thing called a heat pump. And this is like an air conditioner. You put a window air conditioner and it pulls heat from inside the building and dumps it to outside. In this case, we're going to actually find heat that's inside the garage and transfer it and dump it into the tank filled with water.
Perfect, because there's plenty of heat in this garage.
Right, and this will actually help to cool and dehumidify the garage too.
Great.
All right, so this will carry most of the load, except if you have some case where you got 2 or 3 showers in a row and it can't keep up, and the backup elements will be there just if needed.
Okay.
And it's got a real energy story too. This unit, as a heat pump, will probably cut your electrical consumption for hot water by half.
Wonderful.
So let's start by turning off the electrical power to the old water heater, turning off the cold water, draining it, and cutting it out of here. Right at the tip of my thumb, don't cut it. You're a pro. Hear that? That's the heat pump that's on. I got the water back on, the electricity to it, and now it's running, okay? Yep. So here's our water heater. I want to take you through some of the things we did. I added a new shutoff valve right here. It's a ball valve. It was an old gate valve before. With a ball valve, you can close it, you can open, you can tell which direction, okay? Cold water comes in right here, and it actually comes all the way to the bottom of the water heater right here, and it gets heated and comes up this way. You can see right here, it leaves through the top and goes out to the faucets right there, okay? There's some important safety devices that are on any water heater, tank type water heater. One is this. This is a vacuum valve. Now this is designed so if you ever shut the water heater off and it started to cool off and contract, it would break the vacuum so it wouldn't collapse, okay? And the other thing is this. It's a temperature and pressure relief valve. Critically important. The most important device on it is designed to relieve at 210 degrees temperature. That's just below steam, or at 150 pounds pressure. So if, in either case, if you got to those levels and you didn't have a valve like this, it could almost become a bomb. So this is the most important device to keep running. There's also an additional valve right here. It's an additional relief valve. Anytime We heat up water. It needs a place to expand. Most houses, it expands backwards through the cold water main, but you and your neighbors have these things called check valves on the water mains coming into the building so that the water can only go in and not go backwards. So there's no place for the heated water to expand. Now, we've always used a thermal expansion tank up in New England, but here in Florida, this is what they use. And I think that's really what was leaking, you know, because it was cold water running through outside. So we've replaced that. That's fine. And now you can see there's an additional source of water you never had before, and that's from the heat pump itself. Okay. When this is running, there's a byproduct called condensate. And that condensate will come out through any of these two drains and go to that same drain to outside, all right?
Wonderful.
All right, you're gonna have plenty of hot water for you, your wife, your daughter, and you're gonna save a lot of electricity, all right?
Thank you for coming to Celebration. Appreciate it.
It's been my pleasure. I wanna hear from you how the savings were too.
Absolutely.
Okay, be good. So that's a cool unit. A little cautionary tale though, it has the equivalent of an air conditioner up on top of it, the heat pump. So there's a little bit of white noise. You gotta think about where it goes in the building.
Like a compressor and a fan going all times?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the other thing it needs is ambient air around it to be able to pick up that temperature, so you don't want to jam it in a little closet.
Okay. Thanks for watching. This Old House has got a video for just about every home improvement project, so be sure to check out the others. And if you like what you see, click on the subscribe button. Make sure that you get our newest videos right in your feed.